Hi guys, today I'm going to be talking about our wedding. I'm going to be sharing 3 things that I absolutely loved about our wedding, and then 3 things that if I could go back I might tweak just a little bit. I'm not going to say I regret anything from our wedding. It was the most special and beautiful day of our lives. We'll cherish it forever. But as one does, you go back and you think about, yeah, I probably could have changed that a little bit. So I just want to share and talk about that with you guys today. Okay, a little background on Jaden and I. We got together in high school, did 3 years of long distance during college, and then got married when we were 21, and that was last August, so August of 2022. And Bixby might be making his entrance. You can lay down? Okay, good boy. Good boy. So yeah, we got married about a year ago, and I've had plenty of time to process and think about what I enjoyed and what wasn't really my favorite about our big day. Okay, so first I'll start with things I wish I could tweak a little bit if I could go back. Number 1 would be communicating more clearly with our baker. So I want to start off by saying our cake was the best cake I've ever had. At the time I was gluten-free and dairy-free. So yeah, you think, can a cake even be made like that? It actually can, so that was good. And holy cow, I think it was like lemon cake with raspberry filling or something like that. And I just remember when we did our cake cutting and the pictures, I was like, holy crap. Even Jaden thought it was like delicious. So absolutely loved the flavor of our cake and everything. However, I do wish with our cupcakes, which is what we served to the guests, I would have been a little more clear in my vision for the look of them. I think the fault was on me where I gave too many inspiration pictures and wasn't clear about which shades of frosting I wanted. I kind of wish it was more like mauve, light pink, rust, the color of like bridesmaids dresses. But that's super minute. It's just a little thing where I'm like, ooh, didn't really like the color combo of the frosting on the cupcakes. Second thing that I would probably tweak about our wedding day if I could go back would be controlling my emotions. For the most part, I did so good on our wedding day, besides throwing up in the morning, but we don't have to talk about that. Throughout the schedule of the day, I think it did great because right when we were about to do our first look, it starts raining, and I stayed very calm, and I was like, you know what, it's fine if we have to get married inside, oh well. So I think I did good, but there is one instance that I really regret later in the evening after we had done, I think it was after we had done our sunset photos and like everyone had been eating for a while and just kind of chilling, and then I just got so upset because I like looked around and in my head there was this thought like, everyone is so bored and doesn't understand why we're waiting so long to get things going. And I don't know why that came in my head, but it kind of made me really angry. And I was like, Jaden, we're supposed to be doing the dances right now. And I like got upset with him and I almost started crying, and I just regret that so much. It literally wasn't even a big deal. Like Jaden went to the DJs and was like, hey, can we start the dances soon? Like, are we on schedule? And they were like, yeah, we're right on schedule. It was no big deal, but I don't know. I think I was just worried that the guests were like questioning the schedule and the timeline, and so I just got way too emotional. And so, yeah, I'm sorry to Jaden, and I think Cassie was next to me, and she was like, chill out, everything's gonna be fine. But yeah. Being a bride is the most stressful thing literally ever, and you just want everyone to love everything and everything to go perfectly, and it's just never going to go that way. So yeah, we were on schedule, everything was fine, but I just regret getting all upset in the moment. The third thing that I wish I would have tweaked a little bit about our wedding was the order of the bridesmaids' dresses. So I did a pretty, I guess it's not as bold now, a lot of people do this, but at the time I felt like it was a pretty bold decision to do different shades for the bridesmaids' dresses. My vision was to have a slight ombre going from light pink to like a rust burgundy type of color. When I was doing my research and finding colors, I thought I had perfected it. I was like, yes, this is gonna be so subtle and beautiful. And when I told everyone to order their dresses and they sent me pictures in their dresses, I lined everything up in Canva and I thought it looked great. I was super excited. But I think the issue was that I hadn't seen the dresses in person, like the actual colors. And so on wedding day, when everyone's lining up their dresses, I was kind of like, oh, it was a lot more drastic than I had kind of envisioned. Like the colors had a lot more contrast than I was expecting. So to this day, like when I look back at the photos, I'm kind of like, ooh, I don't know if that looks great. So going back, what I would change, I wish that I would have staggered the dresses and done like light pink, rust, mauve, burgundy, blah blah blah, whatever it was, just to make it not the ombre look, because I think it didn't have quite the effect I was going for. So yeah, this is probably the one I have like the most difficult time with, where I'm like, oh, should I just have done something a little bit more classic and tame? But I kind of went crazy. But I don't know, I guess I have to have peace with the fact that at the time I thought it would be amazing, and they still looked good. My bridesmaids were stunning, and I love each and every one of them. They looked so good. It's just the order of the dresses, I wish I would have been staggered a little bit differently. So yeah. Okay, now on to my favorite things from our wedding. First favorite thing from our wedding has to be our private look. First look / private vows. We just knew we wanted to have a moment for us to be together and have that intimate time during our wedding day. I just felt the most love for him during that time. Just seeing like his emotion and my emotion, and the sweet words that we wrote to each other was so special. I'll cherish that forever. Another practical point on doing the first look is it makes the schedule so much easier for the rest of the day, because you're able to knock photos out prior to the ceremony, and so that really helped out with just the organization of the day. If you are into sappy emotional content, I do have a video of our private vows posted, so I'll link that in the description below. Go ahead and watch if you would like to. Second thing that I absolutely loved from our wedding was the dancing. I was so excited to dance, and literally the days leading up to the wedding, I was like, I just can't wait till like the stress of the day is over and I just get to dance with my friends and have so much fun. One common piece of advice these days, like on wedding TikTok and everything like that, is to stay attached at the hip to your spouse like through the whole wedding day, so that you guys share the same experience and are able to take that intimate time together. We didn't really do that when it came to the dancing part of the night. I'm a big dancer, Jaden is definitely not. So we were totally comfortable allowing each other to separate for a little bit, and I could have my fun, he could have his fun, talking with his friends and doing all the things. So Jaden's grandpa and uncle were our DJs. At first, when I heard that Jaden had family members who had DJ'd, I'll be honest, I was a little skeptical. I was like, okay, what kind of DJing are we talking about? Like a backyard barbecue, shuffling a Spotify playlist, or like doing the legit thing? The day of, holy cow, they were amazing. With my skepticism, I literally made a playlist of like wedding reception, because I was nervous about like what kind of songs would be played. And yeah, they didn't need that at all. So sorry guys for being unsure about your talent, but literally our photographer told us, he was like, this is like the longest dancing I've ever seen at a wedding. Typically the dancing dies off pretty soon, but we literally were partying it up until me and Jaden's private last dance. So it was amazing. Super grateful for our DJs and for all my friends busting a move with me on the dance floor. Third thing that I absolutely loved about our wedding was the venue. A very important part of a wedding. Prior to even being engaged, we were looking at venues. We had been together for so long, and we knew we wanted to get married. It was just kind of a matter of when we'd get engaged. So we had our moms look at venues, or did they even look at, I don't remember if they looked at multiple venues or not, but they toured for us. Literally before we said yes to our venue, I hadn't even been there. So crazy. I loved the specific part when I was walking down the aisle. There's this huge staircase, which I was terrified of falling down, but luckily I didn't. And then there's like this arch, I don't really know what you call it, but like this awning maybe, that has a bunch of like flowers and greenery from it, and holy cow, I just loved that. Another thing I loved about the venue was the garage doors, so we were able to have easy access to go hang out, you know, in the patio type area, have some cocktail hour out there, and then also have the inside open where, you know, dinner tables were and where the dancing was. Our wedding venue was called Brookside Gardens Event Center in Berthoud, Colorado. Literally 10 out of 10 recommend. Such an amazing place to get married. To any of my brides out there who are getting married soon, you can do this. I know it is so stressful and overwhelming, but the most important thing at the end of the day is that you and your spouse say I do and become a married couple. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.